Hello, Neuse Little Podcast listeners. Allow me a moment to promote our new official Neuse Little Theater merchandise. This can be bought at any show we have, any show in the 50th season that you come see. You can go up to the merch table and ask the man or lady, and you can get your official NLT merch. Here's what we have. We have hats, toboggans, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and we even have big and tall sizes. Just ask the person and they'll set you right up. We also have blankets, pins, keychains, stickers, tumblers, frosted pint glass, coffee mug, aluminum water bottle, backpack, and tote bags, etc. We have it all. Be sure to check out our special anniversary merchandise, including our t-shirt featuring all the shows of our historic 50th season. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. This is an audio presentation featuring the backstage antics and stories from your favorite log cabin located on the banks of the Neuse River in Smithfield, North Carolina. Please help us celebrate our 50th anniversary season by purchasing tickets on our website, neuselittletheater.org. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the various podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Now please, enjoy the show. Welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. Yes, we're back. We were off for our summer hiatus, but we are back with more audio content for your ears. I've also been taught to say that we should say our names at the top of the show, so that's what we're going to start doing. I'm Matt Gore, and that's me to Toole.
Hello.
And we are here today with a part of the cast from The Wizard of Oz. This is an obscure film, and no one's ever heard of it, but we're going to try to bring some life into this little-known story. Okay, here we go. Sitting across the table from me, I got Darren. He plays the Scarecrow. How are you, Darren?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
All right. And next to him is Tanner. How are you, sir? He's the Tinman.
Yes, good. How are you?
We're rocking and rolling. And then next to him is the pint size Dorothy.
Hello.
How are you? Her real name is Hannah, by the way. Excuse me, sorry. And then, to round out it, we have the Cowardly Lion, played by Dan Brown. How's it going, Dan?
Pretty good.
I think this is 3 or 4 for you. I'm not sure, but we're glad to have you back.
Number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Glad to have you back, as always. Okay, we're going to get started. The show is Wizard of Oz. We're doing it at the college. It's going to be big, people. I can see the sweat forming off of Mita's brow. And no, that's not just because it's hot up here. That's because this is a big show, a lot of moving parts, and very expensive. So, no pressure, guys.
Yeah. Right.
So, I'm going to give you the dates of the show here. Now, please remember, this show is not going to be at our humble hut. This show will be down the street at the Paul A. Johnston Auditorium at Johnston Community College. That's right. We're going to the college. We haven't been back there since 2013, but we're back. We're going, and the show dates are September 27th and 28th at 8 p.m., and then one Sunday matinee on September 29th, 3 p.m. We are only doing 3 shows for this particular play. The rest of our shows will have the standard 5. But this turns out, I don't know if you guys know this, but Wizard of Oz is very expensive. So we had to just condense it for the 3-show weekend. But it's going to be fun, folks.
And we're going to the college, which has a much larger auditorium. So.
Yes, large. How many does it seat, Mita?
About 1,000. And do not think you can just slide in at the last minute. Oh, the auditorium's got lots and lots of seats. Last time we did this, we pretty much filled that building for 4 shows. And we're only doing 3 this time. So go ahead and get your seats.
Absolutely.
And they're assigned, so you want to make sure you get there early and get in there if you want to be close.
Do you think we'll sell out?
I have no idea, bro. Yeah. I want you to, but
What's the box office?
My thing is, fingers crossed. Yes, I hope so. Because
I do know this. I was thinking about this on the way over here. I don't think I'm stepping out of line when I say more people will see this this particular show than any other show in quite a while. Is that stepping out of bounds?
Oh, no, definitely. Because I think right now, and what are we, 3 weeks weeks, 4 weeks out still.
Yes,
3 weeks
about a
out,
month, yeah.
about a month out, and we have more reserved. I mean, at the auditorium, it's a drop in the bucket, but we have more who have reserved their tickets for this show, for these 3 shows, than we would be able to fit in the hut right now.
There
So
you go.
it is filling up going quickly.
Bring your stuff. And speaking of that, let's get into the various roles that each actor plays. Now, these are classic roles. These are roles that you get into theater to do. These are at the very top. Let's talk first about Dorothy. Now, I was thrown for a loop. Now, I don't know why in my mind. I guess it's called Judy. I guess it's because Judy Garland looks a little bit older in the movie. She doesn't really pass for 14, but I had no idea until I looked at the pictures that and the reels that have Ava has been updating on the Facebook page that you're how old?
I'm 10 years old.
You're 10 and you're playing Dorothy. So you are the lead in the show and you've got a lot to do. How did you get here, Hannah?
My mom found it on Facebook, and I got very excited because a lot of my friends were doing it, and I was very excited to audition.
You must be able to sing because that's like a prerequisite for Dorothy. So what was your audition song?
I sang "Astonishing" from Little Women.
Little Women?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, when you got that call, or when your mom got that call, or the email, or whatever, did Mr. Sean call you, or call your mom, or something like that?
Mr. Sean called my mom.
Okay. You don't have your own cell phone yet?
No.
Very good.
Good. Trust me, it's better that way.
I would like to point out that Dorothy being 10, 11 years old is actually truer to the original source material than the movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. I had heard that before, but it just never occurred to me. I thought I was going to be a teenager or something like that. The director, Sean Braswell. Shout out to Sean Braswell. He's having a much-needed night off while we're here recording on a Wednesday night. But you guys have moved into the auditorium now proper, and what's it like been for you? Has the experience been good?
I really like JCC because it's very large. It's much larger than lots of the theaters I've performed in, and I've performed there once. I was in Showcase of the Stars.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, tell us about your what have you done before?
I've done Annie, I've done Matilda, I've done Little Mermaid twice, I've done my school play Wizard of Oz.
Were you in the summer camp here, or was that somewhere else?
Yes, I was in a summer camp here.
Okay, all right. Well, I am excited to see your performance. Are you excited to wear the blue dress and the ruby slippers and all that?
Yes.
Okay, have they got you? Are they going to keep your hair? How are they going to do it?
No idea, but wigs have traumatized me from my flounder wig.
Your flounder wig from Little Mermaid?
It was like a mohawk, and I've been traumatized from wigs from now on.
Thank you. That was a much better answer to that question than I thought I was going to get. All right. What about Toto? Is Toto a dog or a person?
Both. We have a dog in Kansas and a child in Oz.
I didn't realize that was the choice. I knew that there was going to be a stuffed dog part of the time. And
so we might have just
part.
let something drop that Sean didn't want us to know.
I don't know if it was super secret.
Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
going to be
thought,
the
I
little
thought,
girl.
I thought it was Libby the whole time.
Okay, so Libby's
Well,
Toto.
it'd be hard to
Yes.
put Libby in the basket.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like the
Now that you
basket.
mention it.
All right.
I can lift her like Simba, but I don't think she can be held in the basket.
Gotcha.
Get a real robust basket to make that happen.
All right.
She's little. She's not that little.
I'm going to move on to the Scarecrow sitting across from him. So, Darren.
Yes.
First, you were last in an NLT production in Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, 2019, right before COVID.
Yes,
Yeah.
right before COVID. Now, had you been in any other Nice Little Theater productions or productions that you want to mention before that?
I was in Baby the musical. Well, that was in 2010, I believe it was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
yeah.
Abby was in that too. Abby Jordan. Was she in
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was a fun show with Ruth Mills directing. Yeah.
So Mamma Mia. Did Ruth directed Mamma Mia? Correct. Okay.
Yep.
That was her last show with us. Now you won Best Actor for that show, Mamma Mia, and it was a huge hit for us. I was sick during that time, so I wasn't able to see it. But tell us briefly about your experiences on Mamma Mia before we get into Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, sure. Look, it was a fun cast. The ensemble was amazing. They could all really sing really well, which you need that for musicals, obviously. And being able to work with Ruth Mills again was great because she's just really, really good. And my first experience with her, I mean, she gave me a lot of props. I hadn't done theater in a number of years when I did Baby the Musical. So I really appreciated her. And I got to work with her actually at Center Stage for Christmas Carol.
In Goldsboro?
I played Bob Cratchit.
Oh, for real? So that was the year she went down and directed and did the musical version.
Yep.
That's great. I had no idea you had trips around there in Goldsboro.
Yeah.
Have you been in any other Center Stage shows besides that one?
Not Center Stage, no.
Where do you hail from, or where do you live?
I'm originally from Garner.
Uh-huh.
Live in Clayton now.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Goldsboro's a bit of a hike.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you here, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about, dude. A lot of people wanted this role. There was like 3 separate people that went up to me, and since when we were even talking about maybe possibly doing Wizard of Oz, there have been people who's like, I want the Scarecrow. But what's it like embodying the Scarecrow? Were you shocked when you got the role, or just tell me about the process?
Well, the funny thing is, I'm the old guy here, obviously. So I originally thought, well, if anything, he might cast me as the Tinman because I'm stiffer now than I was when I was younger. And but it turns out the Scarecrow. But I've really tried to embrace it, and I'm excited about the opportunity. And with these guys right here, I mean, Hannah was amazing. When I watched her in audition, I want to give her a shout out because I was like, wow, this young lady knows what she's doing, and she's good. And then of course Daniel and Tanner both strong voices, and now I'm starting to see their acting come out in some of the rehearsals, and what a great cast we've got here in this one. So I'm excited.
Yes.
I mean, I'm really excited about it. The last couple of shows that I've done here, Baby the Musical and Mamma Mia, I was playing a pretty plain Jane kind of character, right? And I've been wanting to stretch myself and do a character that's fun, that I can really get into doing something different. And so I'm really embracing it, and I'm excited about how it's going to continue to develop.
I know you guys are probably it's too early for costumes. You probably haven't.
I've been working on it.
Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, I've been
about
working on it. So I've really tried to look at how do we create this costume that looks as real as the original score in the movie, without doing prosthetics. And so I elicited help from Larry Taylor. Larry, he's a tailor from Wendell that used to run the costume department for the North Carolina Theater.
Ooh, nice gig.
And he actually called me this afternoon, and he's like, I'm ready for you to come for the fitting. So we're basically doing some work, and he's only doing the mask part, but all of the other, like when I look up others in community theater, everybody has a hood, and the hood is sort of loose. Like you see their face in there.
Like it's a sack.
Right. It's like a sack. And I'm like, the character needs to be able to share its expressions more.
Yes.
And so I didn't want to be hidden inside of a sack. So we're using a material that is flesh toned, and he's putting elastic in it so it forms closer to my face, but back towards the ears. And then I'm actually using body tape. And the makeup's I haven't done all that part yet, but gonna put makeup on it to blend it in, and then the burlap part's just gonna be from the neck down. So it's gonna hopefully, we still got to work this out, but hopefully it's gonna look like it just sort of blends in. Yeah,
That's dope.
That is very interesting. And you're right. The character does need to be able to express himself, because if not, the Scarecrow tends to look kind of scary. You don't want him to look frightening.
No. He's got to look sort of like he doesn't have a brain, right? Like, duh.
You mentioned something that you kind of want to make it look like the movie. And of all the theater properties in the world, this is probably something you shouldn't mess with. And like, I'm going to make it my own stamp. We got to do what people are coming expecting, what they know, and we need to give it to them and stuff. Like, y'all need to give it to them. I'm not involved in any way. I'll be selling T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, every character I've taken on since I've been doing theater, I've always tried to be as real as possible. I try to go to the extra lengths to give the audience, something special. So.
Well, thank you, Darren. That's very interesting. I can't wait to see you bring that character to life. I'm looking forward to being in the audience for this show, is what I was trying to say. And I really want to see the moments because I know Sean, and I know he's probably thought about this for a while, and we've worked behind the scenes, board wise. We've worked very hard to make sure this is a big show, and I really want to see it come to fruition. It's a special show for NLT. All right, Tanner's been very patient, and I appreciate that. You auditioned for me for Lion and Winter, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, I remember your audition. You were very good, and I can tell you right now, the only reason you weren't cast is because I was looking for somebody 18 and over for that role. If you saw the play, you could probably see why.
Yeah.
But
I was only 16 at that point, and it was definitely more like targeted towards adults.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even I was fine without being in it.
Well, no, sure, but I remember your audition because you came up to me afterwards and go like, "Oh, hey, I auditioned." We spoke a while ago, and I remember I was just like, "Who was that guy?" "Oh, yeah, he auditioned for me for Lion and Winter," and I remember telling you, I was just like, "Don't worry, Tanner, you have a very bright future in community theater for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're talented, and number 2, you're a dude. Guys you can just get cast much easier as a guy. I'm sorry, ladies, it's much harder for ladies usually. But and I was right because here you are as the Tinman. Now tell me about this iconic character, man. Tell me about your auditions. Anything you want to go into? Go ahead.
Well, when I auditioned, I thought that I wanted to be the lion, but I'm actually really okay with being the Tinman. I really like this role.
You settled for Tinman, huh?
I'm just fine. I went all the way down there. No, I'm just fine with Tinman. But also, Lion has a lot of lines, and it's a lot of responsibility.
He's just trying not to confess his hate for me. That's all.
No, no, but I really like this role. And I have a really high song, and I'm not used to singing this high, so it's gonna be a struggle. And I've cracked a lot. But my audition, I sang The Impossible Dream, and I really liked that song. It was fun.
I used the same song for my audition.
You did?
Bro! There's an alternate universe somewhere where, I broke my ankle and I wasn't able to audition and you ended up being the line. I swear.
Did you go the first night?
I went the second night. And Impossible Dream was my audition song. The Impossible. Let's do this later.
Yes, The Impossible Dream. That's from
La Mancha.
Yes, I knew that.
Right.
Yes.
No, there's someone here who really wants to do Man of La Mancha.
It's a great show. It's not a wildly popular show.
Right.
And it's not.
And it's guy.
Old.
It's very guy heavy.
You
Yeah.
guys sing more popular songs than I did.
What did you sing?
I sang The Neva Flows by Anastasia.
Oh, from the Anastasia the musical?
From Anastasia, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that.
That's one that I've never heard much of the music for. Only what comes on XM. That's the only time I've ever heard any other songs.
Okay. All right. Mr. Sean gave you a call or emailed you, and you got the Tinman. What was going through your mind when you got that message?
He called me, and I was really shocked. I thought the auditions went really bad for me. I thought I wasn't going to get a role. I was preparing to just be disappointed, but I got the role. A miracle, and I'm very happy.
Well, we're happy to have you here, buddy.
Yes.
And to tell you how much they're very excited about him being the Tinman, they decided that to rehearse, they needed to give him a real axe.
A real axe?
Is that what happened? They did give me a real axe down there, and I was like, I'm not picking that up. That's rusty. Somebody gonna get tetanus.
Well, apparently,
right.
Apparently, Patsy had a golf club that she had you using.
Yeah,
as
that
rehearsal,
was the first night.
And Sean said, so he brought in an axe, and I'm like, why are you giving that boy a real axe?
It was really heavy. You can't pick that up.
Yeah. The end's gonna fly off and kill somebody.
Right.
Okay. I know it's got to be real. You don't understand. Mm-hmm. We're digging for realism in Wizard of Oz.
That's
right.
That's how you make brutal cuts to your cast.
Brutal cuts. Yes. This Too bad this light fell by accident right before opening night. I guess I'll have to go on now. Tinman, have you gotten to the makeup at all yet? You got to test that makeup. It didn't work out for the first guy in 1934.
Right, he got poisoned.
39. Oh, 39. It was night. Sorry.
Well, she told me that I needed to order it from Amazon, and I haven't ordered it yet, but
Good.
I will order it soon, and that's all I know about the makeup.
Okay. So have you...
2 different shades of metallic paint.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I'm pretty sure they've come a long way since then too.
yeah, they don't. It's all water-based now.
Right.
It's not aluminum dust.
right?
Yeah. Covered with a prime of asbestos. That's why, because the snow had asbestos in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody got sick from it.
Yeah.
I wonder why everybody died at 34.
Right.
With a drop of plutonium, if you will.
Yeah. Hey, you want to be a star or not, Dan? You go up there and put that plutonium in your costume, and you get out there and sing. All right, let's go. All right.
Decays on stage.
That's a good one. Let's talk about you, Dan. This cowardly lion. A lot of people wanted this one, too. And definitely not this podcast host. That never happened. But no, in all seriousness, congratulations.
Thanks.
I had you pegged for this for like 2 months ago. Tell us about your process and arriving to this role, sir.
Well, I knew about this show since springtime, roughly. And Lion is actually a dream role of mine, except in The Wiz. But it's basically the same character. And I'm pretty much playing him the same way I would in The Wiz. And
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Just not quite as jazzy. That's
Not
all.
as jazzy, not as soulful, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't say, "Let me get the hell out of here," and in The Wizard of Oz, but it's fine. But yeah, and it's awesome that I get to do this because I've been doing musical theater and stuff since I was like in middle school, and I think about I'm kind of surprised that I've never played the Lion, but I'm glad I'm finally getting to it. I would definitely want to do it again and again, but we'll give this first shot. See how it goes.
Do you get? I asked this question and I didn't really get an answer. Do you sing the song? What is it? King of the Forest?
Yeah.
Is King of the Forest?
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Because there's versions of it without. I'm like, what are we doing here? You got to have King of the Forest.
I do sing that. Yep.
The
You
version
lucky.
we are doing is the one that has the MGM music.
Okay.
There are other versions of Wizard of Oz that do not follow the movie, so they don't have the movie songs.
I can tell because the poster has like 43 credits on it by L. Frank, adapted by Frank Gabrielson by L. Frank Baum. All right, Dorothy, you have been very patient sitting over here when probably most of the jokes are going over your head. So thank you for that. But what are you looking forward to most?
Probably actually getting to Tech Week and like running the show and seeing it all come together. That's always my favorite part because lots of the times I'm like, oh my gosh, when is this show gonna come together? But then like Tech Week comes in, it's like, oh my gosh, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so true.
So I'm just saying the tech is a very important part of the show. It's exactly just as important as the actors.
Wow, good job, Mom. That's an
Yes.
excellent answer. That's an excellent answer
so
because you were
right.
100% right.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine the house landing on the witch, and it's
Yes.
hard to imagine the Yellow Brick Road running through, and you're traveling to the Emerald City because none of that exists right now.
It's a big challenge. Like when we did Liberty Valance, we had the saloon almost the entire time.
Yeah.
Or at least the outline of it the entire time. And it was always forming up around us, and it was kind of finished on opening night, hopefully. But this is a bigger challenge for you guys because you haven't had load in yet. The set pieces aren't done yet. This thing hasn't come alive yet. So you have to have a lot of like suspension of disbelief and on your actor's part. Did you want to talk a little bit about that, Darren?
Yeah, I mean, look, Hannah's right. I mean, we're having to do a lot of imagination in our heads right now as we're going through some of the blockings and understanding where we need to be on the stage and imagining what it's going to be like when there is props there. And there's a lot of special effects. Sean's mentioned that some of it's going to be done by video or projection. Sorry, yeah, projection. So trying to picture, the Wicked Witch throwing the fireball down at the Scarecrow. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, what's this going to look like? And so, like Hannah said, the Tech Week, dress rehearsals, all of that, that's when we will have to work even harder, I think, because we'll have the foundation there, but then it's like, okay, now I got to work the foundation into how everything flows. Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Flow is a very important word.
Yeah.
It all has to kind of be a seamless thing. And I've talked to Sean, and I know he has some tricks up his sleeve that I'm not going to reveal on the podcast. But it's all like,
We might know some of those too.
all right. So we've talked about your characters. And let's transition to the other character. Let's talk about some of the other actors in the show. Well, obviously, we can't get every single person, every single Ozzy, and every single Who on the podcast because that would be chaos. But let's talk about some of the other characters. Tell me about. All right, Dorothy. Have you talked to the Wicked Witch? Have you talked to Miss Kathy yet? Are you kind of like apprehensive? How do you feel about that?
I just really haven't gotten the chance to talk to her yet.
Tell me about Glenda. You Ava. Do you like working with Ava?
Yes, Ava's a very nice person. I like Ava.
Yeah. So Miss Patsy is also the choreographer.
Yes.
Yes. Now, had you guys worked with Patsy before?
Yes, I was in Willy Wonka, so I work with.
Oh, you were in Willy Wonka. Who were you in Willy Wonka?
I was Violet.
And so you're the one that gets turned into a blueberry.
Yes.
So tell me about you. So that's working with Mr. Sean before. So tell me about working on Willy Wonka. That's another perspective I haven't heard.
Willy Wonka was a very fun show, and I loved the blueberry suit.
What was it?
When it would
It
work.
was like, yeah. It was like this thing that I had to go off stage and quick change into, and it was like kind of like this thing, and it had like a button or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah,
It was
like a fan that blew up your suit.
And then it would like start blowing up when I was on stage, and like it was just so fun to do the blueberry suit, and the quick change was like lots of the time because that was my first quick change ever. So
yeah, it's kind of like a sumo wrestler suit.
Yeah.
You've seen that.
yeah.
All right, Tanner. So you play in the Tinman. What's it been like? What's it been like working with this ensemble? Do you want to shout out any other actors? Tell me about it. Tell me about any ensemble related notions you have.
I know you already mentioned Glenda, but Glenda's very talented. She has a very good voice.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Have you guys met Larry, the Wizard of Oz yet?
Yeah, he's really talented too. But the Ozians, that whole thing, the whole dance and everything, all of those people are very talented. It's real upbeat whenever they do their dance in the Merry Old Land of Oz song, and they're really talented. So
Darren, what's it like working with Sean again? Do you and Sean go? Are you like buds or something, or do you guys go way back, or what? Or are you guys just people who work in
Come
theater?
on, don't you know?
I don't.
They go
Genuinely, I
way
don't.
back.
We're actually cousins.
Oh,
Word!
okay.
Oh,
Okay. Now it makes sense.
I can see it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm there's 13 of us cousins, and I'm the oldest. And there's kind of like two groups. There's the older group and the younger group. Sean is the youngest of the older group out of those 13 cousins. How much dirt do we want to talk about on Sean?
Give us all the dirt, man.
I'm just kidding. No, but no. Look, Sean, he's grown a lot, and look, he called me when he first started dating Nicole. He called me and said, "Can I come over? I want to introduce you to someone." And I was like, "Wow, this is a first," because he just hadn't found that person yet, and he finally found his person, and now they have beautiful kids, and he's been a great dad. I mean, it's been interesting to watch him grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always like that with Sean and Nicole. As soon as they were together, I'm just like, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like, you just knew.
Absolutely,
You just knew.
yeah.
All right. Sorry. Okay, Dan. All right. So now, have you tried your costume yet? Do you have any costume inklings? Have you got any idea what it's supposed to look like?
Sweatsuit, man. I've got a sweatshirt with some sweatpants.
So you
it's color brown, man. It's cool,
like a
man.
tracksuit, like a gangster.
Well, not a tracksuit. No, it's just a sweatshirt from Fruit of the Loom, man. It's really top tier, like almost Marvel level costume. I'm really excited about it.
And I was picturing something like Cedric the Entertainer and What was that crew that did like the stand-up tour for the longest time?
The Def Comedy
Yeah.
Jam.
Kings of Comedy?
Kings of Comedy.
Yeah,
Kings of Comedy. Okay.
That's what the line used to wear. Is those like really put
Baggy.
together
Oh, suits like
suits.
that.
Yeah.
Nice cane.
Come on now.
Nice cane.
That would be dope. But no.
Comes on as disco music. Do-do.
But that's the material we're using. That's going to be the base of it. Steph will adjust it or alter it in whatever way she sees fits. I actually want to ask her though if I can.
Go ahead.
If I could cut
Please.
sleeves off.
Please, I need
cut
content.
sleeves off.
Yeah.
Man. I'm gonna cut sleeves off because there's a part where Patsy has me like flexing in one of the songs. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna flex, I'm gonna flex.
You're going to have a tattoo that says mom.
Exactly. Even though apparently his mom is disappointed in him, but that's neither here nor there with the cowardly lion. But yeah, I don't know the full idea for the costume, but all I know is Steph asked me to get some sweatpants and a sweatshirt and just give it to her. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
they said the main thing she said was like, we don't want it to be as hot as
Sammy.
when Sammy did it in
Because you'll pass out.
1999. Yeah.
Sammy had to wear ice packs. He had to wear like a homemade vest thing and put ice packs in it and change them out. It's like in Rhonda, his wife, his late wife, was like had to go and unzip him and stuff ice down his like an intermission. And they talk about the fact that you could almost see steam come out of it. He was so
Because it was so hot.
It was a carpet. He was wearing shag carpeting basically, and it was rented, so it was so old and had been used so many times, and you don't wash that.
Yeah.
That it was full of like, dust and
it had a stink.
mildew.
Theater grime.
And it was just
Yeah.
and it made him sick. He started
Really?
to lose his voice like halfway through the run. I mean,
He said he was drenched inside.
and he was wet all
Yeah.
the time. It's like he probably lost 10, 15 pounds over the course of that week that they did Tech Week. 'cause
Hey, can we get that costume? Can we get that costume at 10, 15 pounds? Yeah, let's do it.
Be careful what you wish for.
No, yeah, I got you.
All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up here on Neuse Little Podcast? We've got a good idea of what's to come in Wizard of Oz, and it's hard to kind of like talk about the show when the actors themselves are not fully don't fully know what's to come, and during Tech Week and all that, as Hannah said. Tanner,
any deep thoughts?
Okay.
about
I just
your-
want to say it's really a privilege to be, in this musical on the 50th anniversary of the theater. Especially, I've heard people talk about Sammy. They're like, oh, he's great, which I've seen. Just him auditioning. It's just cool to be a part of this experience in this 50th year with these people and this ensemble. And yeah, it's a privilege. Yeah, I'm
It's
excited
such a
for it.
privilege.
Yeah.
well, we appreciate you guys doing it because it's what
No, I was just gonna say, and you guys get to kick it off. So
No pressure. No
Yeah.
pressure.
I think that no pressure, and you don't want to build it up and stuff like that, but it's gonna be big.
No pressure, but there's pressure, buddy.
No, I mean this is the most successful show we've ever done in the past, and I don't think it's gonna with inflation and all that, it's gonna make money. I'm not worried about that, but it's just we've been talking about this one for a while, and and
So we're rebooting the Titanic essentially.
no, I mean, and you always, as far as community theater, we're nonprofit. You want to make a little money to move on forward, blah blah blah. But as long as we break even and we get butts in seats and people come and they see what a wonderful experience that you guys are having, and that you show them what we can do as a theater, they'll come to more shows that have a better margin of profit.
Right.
But the other side of it is what you'll find if it's anything like the last time we did it. You will have a ton of people want to meet you afterwards. You'll be signing autographs. Every little girl will be in a gingham dress and ruby slippers, and they'll all want to meet you, and it will be a very long after show. So be prepared for that, because people will get very excited about it. So
I was just going to echo what Daniel said, because it really is special and a privilege to be a part of this show. I was going to add, he said it too, though, I was going to add the part about that it's the 50th anniversary, and it's exactly 25 years after the last time NLT performed The Wizard of Oz, which is really unique as well. So and I said it in the beginning about the cast. These young people are very talented, and through. We didn't talk about all of the characters, but some of them are really wonderful in their roles already, and just in most of the readings that we've done. And we haven't even really gotten into the the real meat of some of the acting. So I'm really excited about this. This is special. Yeah.
Cool. Any final thoughts, Hannah, before we send it out into the airwaves? Anybody you want to thank?
Any deep things about Dorothy you need people to
Yes,
know?
her psyche.
I just wanted to say, I know we didn't talk much about the Munchkins, but they are some very talented people.
The unsung heroes, the Munchkins. We can talk about them now. Tell me all you want about the Munchkins.
Well, I know a lot of the Munchkins, and I've worked with a lot of them in the past, and they're just very, very, very talented, and they're just like, it's awesome to
It's
see.
nice having like
Yeah.
your buddies kind of like backing you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they all proud of you?
Yes.
No one's jealous, right? No one's jealous. That never happens in jail.
I don't think so. I hope not.
The one friend in the corner just.
We call him the Dark Munchkin.
I was going to say, there are some new faces in Munchkin Land, but there are quite a few that seems like after they quit Willy Wonka's factory, they decided to go over the rainbow.
I like that one.
We're going to close it out there. I've had an excellent time talking with these actors today, and I hope their show goes well. And really, we've talked about how it's a big show, but it's no pressure. You got just relax and keep it real. Like Darren said earlier, keep it real. You'd be surprised at how well that works out.
And just have a good time.
Yeah.
If you're having a good time, everybody else will too.
Let's do it.
It's such a short.
All right. Okay. Do you guys need like a count off or anything?
You want to do the little?
No, let's do the. No, that
He
one's.
said, no, we're not gonna do.
I'm going to hand it over to you. Do it.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Well done. That only cost us $150.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. No. Okay. For Neuse Little Podcast, I am Matt Gore. That's my producer, Mita Toole.
What's up?
Thank you, Darren, Tanner, Hannah, and Dan. We'll see you next time on the podcast airwaves, and have a good evening.